What's up? Welcome back. We're doing Talking Oscars again. I'm John Stark from MacMovieGuy.com, your favorite blind film critic. I've done every other acting category update plus picture. So after this, I'm either going to do director or I'm going to go back into the rotation. I can't remember if I did director yet or not. I should have checked before I did this. I'm sorry. I might have to start back into my rotations. I'm doing like one a week, just staying in the main categories for right now. I haven't done screenplay or animated feature or anything like that yet. Animated feature's gonna look weak this year, by the way. I don't know about you, but I've just been like really just sort of whelmed, not under, well, sort of underwhelmed, but definitely not overwhelmed by the quality of animation this year. Uh, and people are like, K-pop Demon Hunters is gonna win. I'm like, are you sure? Are you sure? There's probably like some really like obscure indie movie that's gonna win. Like this is the year for Flow, right? If Flow had released this year and not been up against the Wild Robot, it wouldn't even have. It would have just been a walk. But it had the Wild Robot, so there was at least a little bit of like a ooh, which one is it going to be? Because the Wild Robot was strong enough to beat Flow. Flow, I know Flow won, but that's. I'm just saying, like, it would have that kind. What I'm saying is there a flow this year? Because if there is a flow, it's just gonna it's gonna walk to the animated feature win. Um, so uh, this is this one is hard. It's pretty much like I've got. So I feel like we got three locks here. I know that's weird to say locks, right? And especially three this early in the season. But hear me out because once you hear who the three are, you'll be like, I guess, yeah. So I can't see a world in which Stellan Skarsgård for sentimental value doesn't get nominated. Like, I don't see that not happening. Front runner to win this whole time. His film is still going strong. He's been around forever. You know what I'm saying? Like he's been steady in film. He's an international talent, so the international community will be behind him unless he's got some weird views that just pop out of nowhere where it turns out he hates women or something like that and he's got some quote that just surfaces at the last minute of killing his Oscar campaign. I i can't see anything stopping Stellan Skarsgård from getting a nomination, bare minimum. Whether or not he wins is a completely different story, but I can't see there being five slots and Stellan not getting in. Everybody who's talked about cinema value has been pretty clear that Stellan is definitely the focus is definitely the performance. So and it feels like it's his time. He's got that vibe to it where he feels overdue. So I would consider him a lock. Like at this point, I keep seeing things. We've had more and more things clear through film festivals. We only have a couple things that haven't done film festivals yet, like the Hugh Jackman Kate Hudson movie. I don't know if there's gonna be a supporting actor play from that. We did just get is this thing on, but I don't know that Bradley Cooper is running for a supporting actor nomination. I didn't see any strong reactions to that. Nuremberg, I don't know that Rami Malek's gonna make a strong explosion into the race. So, yeah, I think lock is a pretty safe term here for Stellan Skarsgård. But I've got two more. So who's next? Paul Mescal for Hamnet. Again, the film has been universally loved, beloved, received, accepted, and as far as that seems to be, they seem to be running him supporting. So unless they change that to lead, where it becomes way more interesting, my thing is if he's running for supporting, it's a lock. If he runs for lead, it's a conversation. So I think Paul Mescal is a lock for his second nomination for Hamnet. He might be in contention to win. I don't know. We have to see who all the nominees are. I'm not saying anybody is a lock to win in this category. Could he win? Sure. He didn't win for Aftersun, so it's not like he has an Oscar. So yeah, I think Paul Mescal for Hamnet is a signed, sealed, delivered nomination. Focus is clearly going to make that their focus. Subscribe. Next would be Sean Penn for One Battle After Another. I've been a little bit. I've tried to limit myself on my One Battle After Another because I see everyone else is going nuts for it, and it's a bubble that you're in, right? It's like the movie was released and you're currently having a moment. It's having a glow, but you're having this glow really early, and not everything is everything ever all at once, where you can maintain the glow for a long period of time and eventually get that win. So I think the one battle will cool a little bit, which is why I didn't predict it for multiple Best Supporting Actress nominations. I don't know that DiCaprio will get into lead actor. Um, I'm feeling a lot better though about its picture director chances than I was when I first did those. I did picture before it had opened, and I put it as sort of like my number 11 because I was like, I think box office matters, and if it opened really poorly, I think it would kill the chances of one battle. Like, because it didn't go to film festivals, so we had to wait for it to actually be received. It's been received, and I would put it in the top 10 now, obviously. And I think P.T. Anderson into director is an obvious choice. Um, but Sean Penn has gotten a lot of praise for his thing. He already has 2 Oscars. I don't think there's like a giant it's a groundswell of support to make sure he gets a third. But so I think he may just have to settle for a nomination. That's also why he's in third, is because how many people are really going to be chomping at the bit to give Sean Penn another Oscar? Same thing with Emma Stone for Begonia. I get it. She's good in it. She's won 2 Oscars in under 10 years. I don't think she's going to win a third. This could be me. Um, so who are my other two? The two that are not locks. Adam Sandler for Jay Kelly has become a little bit more of a not sure, not lock. Um, but he's still my fourth. I still think it might be time. And I think that's the thing, is that this is the right film, the right performance. It's permission. And I think he got close with Uncut Gems. And I think putting him as supporting actor, it's like it's an easier path, some ways, because they're not saying he's the best leading actor. It's supporting. So I think he's still in. I haven't gotten a strong vibe as to why he wouldn't be. His reviews are not like insane, but they're none of them are negative though either. I haven't seen anybody go, well, he's not good in this. And sometimes we don't win and aren't nominated for our best performances. So the fact that you may still think Uncut Gems is his best performance, fine. A lot of people don't win for their best performances. So it's a very weird thing. I think most Martin Scorsese fans would agree that if Scorsese had one directing Oscar, it wouldn't be for The Departed. As much as I love that movie, I can say that with pretty strong confidence that a whole bunch of people know exactly which film he should have won direction for and would go back and give it to him for that. So, um, the fifth place spot is what's up in the air. And I have a couple of people. I want to have a big swing here. I took a big swing in supporting actors by predicting Emily Watson for Hamnet and saying that the film overperforms, and she comes along with it surprisingly, just because she's been previously nominated. It's been a while. She's a well-respected actress. I think Hamnet, it's going to be one of the films that overdoes. And it was, instead of predicting 2 nominations for either sentimental value or one battle after another, felt more likely to do that. I also don't want to just predict everybody from Wicked is getting the same nomination they got last year, so I held Ariana Grande out. So with Emily Watson and also Glenn Close, so a little bit more surprises in supporting actress. I want to do something like Dylan O'Brien for Twinless because I love that performance, but I also don't know who they're running in lead and who they're running in supporting. I would run Dylan in supporting. He doesn't have a shot in hell of getting nominated in lead. He could barely get nominated in supporting. But I think he has a much better chance of being a surprise nominee out of the blue in supporting. I think it's an easier campaign to run because his strongest competition is like Delroy Lindo from Sinners, which, again, another actor, he deserves a nomination. He should have been nominated for Da 5 Bloods years ago, but wasn't. um, we've also got just some, I don't know, like some potential nominees. They could also go for Jack O'Connell, I guess, for Sinners. There's another actor in Sinners too that people are liking, but I don't know how they're not going to nominate that young actor over Delroy Lindo. What a scandal that would be. A career-long actor getting snubbed. I mean, when you look at The Fabelmans, right? And they had the opportunity to nominate Paul Dano, who had a much bigger filmography than the other kid from Sinners, uh, versus Judd Hirsch. They picked Judd. You know, I mean, and Paul Dano has been in, like, he's been complimenting Best Actor nominations, like There Will Be Blood, for years now. So the fact that he couldn't get nominated for The Fablemans, this kid's not gonna get nominated for Sinners. Stop, just stop. Could Jonathan Bailey for Wicked? Fiono doesn't have that much to do, but I guess they are writing some new material, so it's really hard to say no. He did pick up some other precursor nominations last year, so it's not like he wasn't completely off the radar. There's Jeremy Strong for Springsteen Deliver Me from Nowhere. Sure. If that film gains more steam, that film is kind of dying out. That could just be a play for Jeremy Allen White. Jeremy Strong was nominated last year, so it's not like they're chomping at the bit to give him a nomination. This would be a second one for a film that is kind of leveling out. So I kind of don't think it's going to be Jeremy Strong. So yeah, we have a bunch of international films this year that could, I guess, surprise. And look, we got a supporting nomination for so-and-so from No Other Choice, or it was just an accident, or I'm just unfamiliar with all the international actors, and there doesn't seem to really be one in this category that is necessarily standing out above the leads in a way where they would get nominated above the lead. Like, I feel like The Secret Agent, for example, is Wagner Moura, right? It doesn't, it's not going to change that. There's Jacob Elordi for Frankenstein, who a lot of people don't think he's going to get nominated because he's the monster, and they just don't nominate those kind of performances. I'm not going to say no. Yeah, I feel like there are a lot of there's a gobbledygook of potential fifth place spots. So much so that I would even entertain the idea of Josh O'Connor from Wake Up Dead Man if they can make that movie happen. It still has a great release date for Netflix. The fact that it's kind of like the last film in their cycle of Oscar nominees, like, it's opening after everything. It's opening after Frankenstein, Jay Kelly, Train Dreams, you know, like all those things. This is the last one. And it could, like, if it's ever going to pick up steam, it's good for it to be the last one out of the gate so that everything's fresh. And he's gotten a lot of praise for his performance, and I don't think they'd run him in lead. A lot of people refer to him as the lead, but it's hard to put him above Daniel Craig, who's the actual returning detective lead character. So even if it's category fraud, I think he'd be running supporting. So do I think Josh O'Connor is in the mix? Sure. I think he's lower in the mix, but I think he's in the mix. But right now, I want to try to manifest. So my top two manifestations would be between Dylan O'Brien and Delroy Lindo for Sinners. My heart is with Dylan O'Brien because that's one of my favorite performances of the year. But I also realized Twinless, that would be its only nomination. And it's a little bit silly to try to predict that when I don't think it's going to get anywhere else. At least with Wake Up Dead Man, I think it's going to get a screenplay nomination. I don't think Twinless maybe could get a screenplay nomination for original screenplay. That's a lot of push for a film that isn't getting a ton of attention. It's going to need every precursor. Like, Dylan O'Brien is going to need to show up everywhere for him to start trending. So I'm going to safely go with Delroy Lindo for right now for Sinners and actually give this film an acting nomination. I didn't give it Michael B. Jordan. I didn't give it any of the supporting actresses. But I'm going to lean on Delroy Lindo for Sinners and say that his time in Hollywood matters. It didn't matter last time. I think this is going to shoot me in the foot right now. But I think I like my four. And I mean, I could do something bold and pick Jacob Elordi for Frankenstein, but I don't know. I want to manifest one of the performances that I really liked this year. And I feel like I can manifest Delroy Lindo. Other people are talking about it, so let's just keep talking about Delroy Lindo and see if it happens. So I'm gonna go with Delroy. But yeah, there are a bunch of people in the fifth place spot. I don't think we have enough to knock the top four, definitely not the top three. There just are not enough people in play and supporting actor for to shake up. So where Skarsgård, uh, Mescal, and Penn would lose. I don't think that's happening. If we got more performances, Sandler would be the loss in this category. We would lose Sandler and Lindo to two other performers. But yeah, I'm pretty solid on the other three. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I'll see you guys on the other side.